Hello, everybody.
Yay,
Good to be here.
Benjamin! I met Benjamin at the AVA Summit. It was quite he had the booth across from me, and what was the booth you were at again?
Animal Activism Mentorship.
Animal Activism Mentorship, and we both know a couple of the same people, like Juan and Dara, who's been on the show before, and we hit it off, became fast friends, and I wanted to bring him on to kind of talk about his life of veganism and activism, because you're really active, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, just to do. Yeah, yes, could be more, but glad to have opportunities to
Isn't that
participate.
how? Do you feel like everyone feels that way? It's like you're doing as much as you can, and you're like, I could be more.
Hmm.
Like I wish I could do. There's got to be. I could do more. Like I feel guilty for sleeping at this point, Benjamin.
Hmm.
I to be fair, I've always kind of felt guilty about sleeping. I feel like it's a devil's handshake. The idea that we have to sleep for a third of our lives seems like the worst deal that we could have. I want to live every hour of my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ben, you did you grow up? Were you born vegan? How'd that happen? How'd you go vegan?
Okay. Yes, I've been vegan. I went vegan January. Or I became vegan January 2nd, 2015.
2015.
2015. Yes.
Not bad. Okay, so for a while now, like 9 years, that's pretty
9 years,
good.
but unfortunately, like almost all, like I think, like all vegans, I wish I went vegan sooner. I wish, obviously, I was vegan since
Everybody.
conception. But
Yeah.
but yeah. So I'm 42 now, so only the last 9 years, and then I've been active around the last over 6 years.
Do you ever feel like when it's funny because you said vegan from conception. Don't you feel like all of us are vegan at heart, man? Don't you feel like you start out vegan, you get it beaten out of you for a while, and then you kind of return to who you really are? Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I think that's one of the main things that gives me hope as an activist, is knowing that people are already like innately vegan, and we all we have to do is just penetrate the cognitive dissonance and the carnism.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me, right? I think it makes perfect sense. Like we got suckered into this cult and you just got to get back to it, right? So
Mhm.
what
Well,
what was
like Gary Yourofsky says in the best speech ever, is like, tell me the day when you put a baby with a carrot and a bunny, and then they play with the carrot and eat the bunny.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll buy you a car if
Mhm.
you
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he said. I'll buy you
Mhm.
a car if you come back an hour later and the baby has eaten the bunny and played with the strawberry or whatever it is.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Um, do you? Yeah, that's something. The list is on something that vegan teacher always says. You were born vegan. You never wanted to hurt them. It's true. You never wanted to. You got pushed. You got coerced.
Yeah, I hear so many stories of, like, the kid that how we question speciesism so much innately as children, and then it's just like you said, drilled out of us, and then of course all the which in ways we want to fit in, and carnism. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is a thing because not a. So I think that's so funny because it's like our innate desire to not hurt animals is, I think it's unquestionable, but it seems that it's more powerful, our innate desire to fit in with other humans. And it's like, is this what we're doing now? Like, I think that the tribe mentality, like, look at your left, look at your right, it's like, is this cool? This is what we're doing? Yeah, this is what we're doing. Okay. And it's like, I feel like it's the worst thing about us. It's the worst part about us, you
Yeah,
know?
I know, and then, yeah, and then of course the case of morphine addiction that we all get started right from a young age.
Sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
addicted to cheese and all that. So, well, I mean, it's innate. It's innate for mammals too to be addicted. You're supposed to be addicted to that so that you want your mother's milk. It's not supposed to be somebody else's milk.
Hmm.
So how did you get there, man? Like, do you did we how? Well, let me back up. Like, where you from? How'd you grow up? What's
Okay.
where?
Yeah. So I grew, like, fortunately grew up, like, a lot of love. Grew up in New York City, so pretty cool. Like, grew up in the heart of Manhattan, and my folks always valued, like, exposing me to cultural experiences, and
Yeah.
the liberal ideology of, like, embracing diversity
Mhm.
and things like nonviolence and equal rights and stuff like that. So I
Do you
definitely have
think that
a
if
lot of that
you
influence.
do you think that if you make it there, you can make it anywhere?
Well, I mean, no. I think cognitive dissonance is in New York on some
Yeah.
level, but on some level, no, because you just put me backpacking in the wilderness, and I'm super scared. I'm super out of my element, you know.
Yeah, you want the hustle and bustle of the city,
Yeah, you can't exactly.
the trash trucks coming out at 3 a.m. and all the people. Manhattan's a noisy town. I love it though. I mean, you gotta love Manhattan. But I mean, but it's funny you're surrounded by people think of veganism as a liberal thing.
Hmm.
I don't think it is. 98%
No,
of liberals are not vegan.
no, and it's the cognitive dissonance. And then I don't know if we'll get into that, but that's one thing I like press my parents on. Thankfully, my mom's vegan now, and my dad's plant based. But just like these are your values. These are your values. This is what you
Mhm.
taught me, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're kind of rebelling against that, right? You're rebelling against somebody else's value.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, so you grew up in Manhattan. That's just as carnist as any other town in the world.
Hmm.
People always think, "Oh, well, Sky, you're in Arkansas." Like we're going to talk to Colburn in a little bit. He's lives in Arkansas, and it's like people think, "Oh, that's more carnist." Bullshit. No, it's just as carnist in New York City. So how did you grow up? Where your parents were like liberal and you were like exposed to culture, but you weren't exposed to vegetarianism
No, it
or
wasn't.
animals?
No, I think when it comes to just quote unquote waking up or understanding that adults don't know what the fuck they're talking about and this whole world
Mhm.
is at ape shit backwards. Psychedelics, cannabis, the music of Bob Marley, and a little bit of the message of like Rastafari with like going back to nature and ITAL.
Mhm.
But then I had influences. So I kind of do believe maybe in that vegan point system where we have to be exposed to things. And even though in that moment of January 2nd, 2015, I was like, no, the imperative, but like maybe it built up to that. So I had friends that were vegan. This is back in 2000. So I remember like learning about carob and like reading the labels back then, and
Yeah.
a little bit. And then I had read that book, Diet for a New America by John Robbins. I don't know if you read that book,
No.
but the whole first chapter is all about God, all of God's creatures, and it's all story after story of all different types of animals, from dolphins to parakeets that have saved humans' lives, like acted above beyond intelligence and sentience. Like so, I mean that stuck with me. So those were some of like my main influences.
Well, that's incredible because I think that, there's so many people who aren't even exposed to that. So you're just basically curious and you're like exploring and you're hearing the music and you've got all these influences in New York, which you don't even know what's influencing you there. There's so much input.
Hmm.
And but you're not in 4-H. You didn't grow up in 4-H, but like when you were a kid, were you exposed to animals? Did you have any
Oh,
relationship
yes,
with
yes.
them?
So we had adopted mainly two cats at 1.3, but mainly two cats, and I definitely remember like loving them. I
Yeah.
remember like one time shooting them with a Nerf gun at one point, just like interrupting their nap with a Nerf gun, and then they're like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Did I just like completely disturbed their peace. And then of course having those feelings like, "Yo, did I give them a good life?" But those feelings when I was in my adolescence and down and depressed, whatever. Something happened at school, I didn't fit in or something, and then like my one cat in particular coming over to just hang with me, and I was like, "There's no way that she's not empathetic to like coming to give me like extra love right now." Like
Mhm.
that was, I mean, I think like a lot of us are impressed and impacted by the companion animals we get to like grow up with. But
I
those are
think
kind of
that's the
things that I reflected on back at after.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? You're like, pets are weird, man. Like everyone knows how I feel about not owning animals, but it's interesting that everybody has these experiences with pets and they remember them and that they're really formative experiences too. So fast forward, you're growing up in a world where it's just as carnist as everywhere else, and
Hmm.
the only experience you have with animals is pets and maybe the horses in Central Park. How do you make the leap to veganism? What makes you like, no, this is all wrong? Animals aren't ours. They don't belong to us. They're not our slaves. How do you get there?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think for me, like, I credit it to, like I said, that documentary "Vegucated" and that moment. I mean, there are other things when it comes to like being plant based, understanding that dealing with digestive issues, and then like milk is one of the first ones to go. You talk to like any alternative complementary health practitioner, that kind of thing. That was kind of mainstream. understanding even back in like the early 2000s. But then it was that documentary, and it's not a very graphic documentary. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that documentary, Vegucated.
Vegucated. I don't even think
It's
I know
it
that one.
Oh my god! So I was just like, I've always loved documentaries. So I think just hungry on Netflix to like see what documentaries were out there, and it's just super independent, kind of like a Michael Moore, like a Super Size Me style. She finds 3 New Yorkers randomly on Craigslist that are carnists and asks them to go vegan for 6 weeks while she films them, and she gets like 3 completely different random New Yorkers and like teaches them about veganism through different, like the whole documentary, and then like follows. So it was pretty. But so there's just one scene where she takes them and exposes them to factory like images of animal suffering and
Oh,
slaughterhouse.
she shouldn't take them to the farm. She just shows
No,
them
she
like
like, yeah, the footage,
footage.
and you watch them like watching it, and then I just remember, and then I've heard it so much more recently, but like how like the suffering in animals' eyes are
Yeah.
just so much like our own, and like we just this immediate sense of just like, yo, I was like, what the fuck have I been doing?
So you saw that and you saw them go
I
through it.
saw
It's
that,
so
and then it was literally like something in my fucking brain. I was like, what the fuck have you been doing? Like, in an instant, I was like, this is an imperative that I am
yeah.
no longer like responsible for is doing as much as I possibly and practically, you know what I mean? Like, just
Do you
every
think
to
wait a
not
second,
exploit
but
yeah.
let's back up. Did you know what veganism was? Because I remember when
Mhm,
I knew what veganism was because of people like Moby and RZA, and like actually I don't think I knew what it was. I had heard the word, I knew quote unquote. Like I didn't know who Donald Watson was. You know what I mean?
mhm.
I knew that there was this thing called veganism where they don't eat animals, right? They don't do dairy or all that. The diet. But were you aware of any of that before you saw
Mhm.
Vegucated?
Yeah, no, I was aware of veganism, and I think I definitely like obviously after being vegan for 9 years and learning so much about cognitive dissonance and carnism, but I think had one of those things where I was like, oh, I don't want to be like vegans, like not like the
Yeah,
label
yeah,
thing and the
yeah,
image thing or
yeah,
something,
yeah.
and then so yeah, like all I definitely knew about it, and I was definitely, and I've met so many carnists who I was that carnist that was like I made the connection before I was vegan, that, like when I was eating scrambled eggs, that there was like the chicks getting macerated, but I had this kind of nihilistic. I was just like, whatever, the world's fucked up, like whatever, like this world's
Well, yeah,
fucked up.
what am I gonna do
Yeah,
about it?
like
Fucking the
just like
world
whatever,
sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
fuck them, like kind of thing, and then so yeah, okay.
But
But yeah,
you were plant-based thinking about these things, and then you saw Vegucated, or Vegucated made you plant-based, or how
no. Then I started educated, and then I understood the moral imperative to be vegan, to do the best as much as I possibly could to not personally like have animals be exploited and
so
suffering.
you were on the diet though. You were on the diet already.
Yes, yeah, exactly. When it came to like exactly, and then but then I don't know if you've heard that term that says like be the kind of vegan that you wish you
Yeah.
knew before you were
Yeah,
vegan.
of course. Yeah.
And I had vegans that I knew, and like they never were like, yo, what the fuck, like you're conscious, what are you telling me, like what the like, and I now of course I'm gotten more quote unquote just emboldened or whatever, militant, to just hold carnists accountable,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I get that. And so, do you think it helped seeing people from your own walk of life? Because you mentioned that there was 3 New Yorkers in Vegucated. Does that
Mhm.
help? Do you think to see those people are just like me?
um I don't know if that was if I felt that in particularly about that documentary,
It's
but
interesting that that's the documentary. It's
I
3 New
know.
Yorkers going vegan, and you're like, that's the one that hit me.
Well, just
You
yeah,
know.
I mean, yeah, but like I said, there's only a few minutes where the graphic
But
footage,
you
and
must have seen the graphic
I
shit
had seen it
before.
before, so it was like exactly. So it was just something about that moment where like almost felt like she was looking at me, like you know.
Interesting. So that now you're vegan. You're like, screw this, I'm going vegan.
Hmm,
This is
hmm.
now I'm actually doing it. Did you did you feel like I need to get into activism too? I mean, or was it just more like I'm gonna lead by example? Because I know a lot of people they go vegan, even if they are vegan for for the ethical reasons, and they get there, right? They're
Hmm.
confronted with the ethics and they want to make a difference. Not everyone gets into activism. That's something that little interchange is something I'm super interested in. Like, how do you get someone who says they're vegan, they are vegan, they got all the shit. How do you get them into? How did you get into activism?
Okay, yeah, and then it took me a couple years, so there's a little bit of like shame about like, oh man, because especially meeting some vegans were like, oh yeah, I became vegan, and the next day I was in that, they went.
Some people are like that,
Some
man.
people
Some
where they
people
just get it, and then so obviously, but that it is what it is. So I think I was kind of active in a minimal way, just more and more being emboldened on my little social media
yeah.
platform to speak up for animals, posting memes,
Mhm.
either just like the cognitive dissonance memes and stuff. But then it was definitely social media.
Kinda like
I
secret
mean,
activism, little, on the sly activism, like
yeah, on the side, but then I was still like speaking up for animals a little bit online and stuff like that. But you just and yeah, I think after then that the my inner dissonance got to grow where I was like, well, I don't know enough people. Like, what I saw people online being emboldened, and I think that was definitely like, all right, there it gives me, because I think I still struggle with that. Like, oh, it looks weird to like speak up for animals, or it's definitely like unpopular to like start just talking about animals all the time. And but then just seeing people on the internet, and especially I don't know if people know Vegan Evan, Vegan Shannon.
sure.
That was when Cube, so that was right around 2016, 2017, when like IG was hot and this Cube of Truth was going off. And I remember just seeing footage of Cubes of Truth like all over the world. And then also just, to be honest, like a little bit of my self-interest, like, but damn, like there's a bunch of beautiful ass people getting together, like doing activism. Like I should be there. Like I should join them. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, that makes perfect sense. Like, dude, I always tell people, "Oh, I can't find vegan friends." Get into activism. That's where your vegan friends are. They're out there. They're right there. There's beautiful, healthy people who want to be your friend. They're looking for you, and you know where they are. They're holding a megaphone and a sign with a bloody animal on it in front of fucking Louis Vuitton. That's where your
yes,
friend is, you know.
yes,
And or they're holding a TV screen in a busy
in the
town
Cube.
in a cube. That's where your friends are. Go meet them. They're there. You just haven't met them yet. Your friends are there. You
Thank you. No,
know?
I'm getting chills because that's real. And like, and just, and I've been active in it, and just going deeper and deeper to the activist community, and it's been like so rewarding and fulfilling.
Yeah, I mean, I find it so I find it rewarding is the it really is, because even the people that I don't naturally get along with, I still find kindred spirits in, because they care about the same things I do, and they're out there doing something about it. So they're my friends too. It's like I
Hmm.
accept I accept people that I normally wouldn't be friends with. I accept them and become their friends because we have a shared interest in a thing that is so important and vital to the future of the world.
Everything I know,
Yeah.
and then it's like the more we become vegan, more we become activists. Like basically, where most of our time is thinking about, other than like maybe our own trite like day to day shit. Most of our time is thinking about like, damn, millions of animals are dying right now. Millions of animals are fucking like can't even turn around in cages right now. And then other people, you go out in like mainstream society, like, oh, the Kardashians, or like, oh, like how's the weather today? And you're like, what the heck? Like it's just they couldn't even be further from where their mind is at
Dude,
and
holy
where
shit,
our
man.
mind is at. And
Today I saw an ad because Karina had the TV on. It's Memorial Day and she has the day off, and I had the day off. And I went downstairs on the TV and it had Kardashian inside my mind. And I'm like, inside your mind, Kardashians? I don't
mhm.
need to know what's going on in the Kardashian mind. This idiot thinks that she's 98% vegan, so can have chicken wings today. Like, this is
That's what I'm
part
saying.
of.
That's what I'm saying. So like when our values become so much a part of who we are, and like you said, meet other activists who are willing to like volunteer their time, like to come out and be on the street for animals. You're like, yo, I have mad respect for you.
Yeah, exactly. I even
Hmm.
the ones that I don't like, I got mad respect for. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's always the
Yes.
way I feel. Absolutely. So, but what was the first one? So, what was the first one you got out there and just you're kind of
The
doing your
first like
sneaker
real
stuff?
kind of the first street activism I did was Q. I
A
know,
cube.
excuse me. Handing out some vegan outreach, like hanging out a couple of vegan outreach pamphlets.
Yeah.
It's like the classic evolution of vegan outreach. Then
Yeah.
a first cube in Portland, Oregon, and I just remember, and it was back with the laptop where I had my laptop.
What the hell were you doing in Portland?
I used to live there, so like, because I've lived in a couple different, because I grew up, born and raised in New York, but I've lived in Hawaii, Florida, and Portland, Oregon.
Oh, you're traveling with your family? What were you doing? What were you
No, no,
doing?
no. Like, just moving out into the world and like trying living different places and
Oh, that's
seeing.
amazing. Yeah, man. That's awesome. It's good to be able to see. I love Portland. I mean, that's a great place to get into activism
Mhm.
because Portland's interesting because there's so many people who are vegan there, but it's not the easiest place to get activists active because the people feel like they're already doing enough. Oh, I'm already doing enough. I'm liberal and I'm this and that. They don't want to get up and say anything. They don't want to do anything.
Hmm.
It's kind of fucked, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least thankfully there was like a somewhat committed group, enough of a group to have I guess regular cubes there down on the waterfront. And like I remember not even feeling not confident to do outreach because I'd seen it on social media. But I was like, no, I can't outreach. I'll only be in the cube.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but I was still so powerful seeing people's reactions to just me, even the people that don't stop to get engaged, people, to get to engage with an outreacher, like, but then overhearing the conversations and then
Yeah.
something, I don't know, I'm sure you've experienced that. Like there's something really mad, like portals open. Like I just feel like I'm doing God's work. Like I feel that moment where like that heightened sense of like, this is what
Yes.
it's real life to be alive when I'm like having those outreach conversations and when people are open and receptive and it's like the first time that they've ever either like seen that
Yeah.
footage or come to terms with it, it's like, damn.
That's so important. And so two things that I kind of want to comment on. Yeah, totally. Like one thing that I find tremendously yeah, valuable about outreach and talking to people is that I feel like I'm connecting with other humans on a level that's profound. And I don't think most people get that. I don't think people get it with their friends, family. I don't think they get it with the checkout counter lady, the person at the parking meter. You interact with humans all day long. But when I'm doing outreach with some, I feel like I am really connecting with somebody about something that's important. And we're talking about something very raw and emotional. Um,
Yes.
and we're speaking to what's deep inside of us as human beings. That's real. Like that's fundamental shit we're addressing. And sometimes I'm even uncovering traumas and deep rooted experiences that they haven't addressed for 30 years sometimes.
Hmm.
They've never
Hmm.
thought about the time that their daddy told them that animals don't have souls. They haven't thought about it since they were 5, you know?
When they had to hook the worm and their granddad and they felt weird about it and their granddaddy was like, nope, we're fishing now kind of thing. Yeah, it
They
was
shot
so
the deer. Right.
hmm.
They haven't addressed this trauma, and there you are as a stranger going through it with them. It's sometimes like even when they're not letting on, they're contacting deep shit in their brains,
Hmm.
those are
Hmm.
old synapses on their fucking mind, and it's pretty crazy if you think about it. But the other thing was that you said about you just holding the TV and opening portals. It's like I recently made a video. I forget which one it is, but it was on the road because I started out with the laptops too, back before everyone had the flat screens, and um, and this time I had the camera in my hand while I was holding the screen, and so it was the vision of me in the mask, and I've got the camera, but it's pointed out, and people walking by and being like like walking by and just being whoosh, and you could see their eyes and that's fucking powerful, seeing
Hmm.
someone like stop in their tracks and just like holy shit. Like people think that the person just holding the screen's just holding the screen, but it's way more.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
You know? I'm alone 98% of the time. Get yourself some activism, homeboy. You'll be connecting with people right away. I don't know a single other vegan in real life except your wife. Well, we got to fix that. We got to fix that Bible Dumb podcast. Let's fix it. By the way, I'm going to appear on Bible Dumb podcast in a couple weeks. We just recorded our first episode together. It's awesome. Talking about the book of Joshua. I almost said the bush of Joshua. The bush. We're talking about the bush of Joshua on the Bible tree. Did you grow up religious?
No.
No. Yeah. That's
No.
well. Congratulations. I'm glad for you. Um,
Thank you. Yes.
I'm happy for you with that. So, so yeah. So you got so, but how did you find the cube? I think that might be a nuts and bolts kind of stupid question.
Hmm.
But like, how did you know how to get in contact with these weirdos dressed in black, wearing masks, holding laptop? How did you know how to get in touch with those guys in Portland?
Okay. Yeah, man. I think I don't know if just like seeing it on social media and then going to the Cube of Truth website to be able to like click through and see the chapters.
You started Googling it? How'd you
I don't know if maybe one of the social media videos was linked to anonymousforthevoiceless.com or something like that. And then if you go to the AV's website, I don't know if you've been there, but they have like a whole interactive map and you can search by zip code city or whatever. And then definitely like being on Facebook, so I don't think it was hard to like just make a request to join the group based in that city or whatever.
Yeah. And I'd like to point out that there's more than just AV now. We have We the
Hmm.
Free. In major cities, you usually have an anti-foie gras group. You usually have a coalition against fur group. There's so many groups. So even if you're not into that form of activism, there's lots of different options for people to get involved. So then you just showed up by yourself. You just alone, just you?
Hmm. Yep.
And you're like, "Hi, I'm here for the veganism. I'm here for the
Yep.
activism."
Yep. And I stood in the cube the whole time, 3 hours straight through, and they were like, they thanked me at the end.
3 hours you stood there? They're like, "You need a
Yes,
break," and you're like, "Nope."
I'm good. Yeah, because it's kind of also, I know there may be a little bit of that like stoicism where you're like, yo, fucking animals can't even turn around. Like my ass is gonna stand here and just fucking like meditate on that shit for like,
3 hours is a long time. Usually it's 20 minutes
uh,
in, 20 minutes out.
I
You
know.
stood
Well,
there.
yeah, that was. I mean, yeah, I was all, yeah, but yeah, no, it was, yeah. And from then on, I mean, I guess AV and I know AV, that was just where I started, and I have a lot of admiration. I know there's just been different viewpoints on AV, but for me, it definitely helped me refine my message and zero in on like the precipice kind of salient aspects for me of holding non-vegans accountable and a way to like do
Yeah.
activism.
I mean, I think there's different opinions about AV, but I think most of them are positive. I mean, I know there was that kerfuffle a while back about the
Mhm.
organization, but that was a long time. I don't think anyone even. It was a much. I think it was a lot of smoke, no fire.
Mhm.
But it was. It's still one of the most important activism groups that gets people into this.
Mhm.
You know, it's a great way to start. And there's always We the Free and other ones too. So then it was off to the bike races. You were able to just
Well,
went.
yeah, and then, but I don't know if we were gonna. I was gonna want to bring up animal activism mentorship at some point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we got a little
Okay,
more
go
time. We'll
for it.
get there. I
Okay,
promise.
all
I
right.
promise.
Okay.
So you're in the AVQ. You're making some friends, and
Yeah. Mhm.
everyone goes out to dinner usually afterwards and stuff. And so you're talking to people. And what was next? What was next for you? Because you're
What was
like
next?
you're in activism of all. You're doing all sorts of shit. So what was next for you? What was the next step
What
after
was the
AV?
next one? Okay. So, after the next thing after AV. Oh, for getting into some pressure campaigns. So, I mean,
Hmm.
I can jump quite a bit, but like in the last couple years, moving back to New York, getting involved with the New York City Animal Defense League. But I mean, there's definitely things before that when
Yeah.
it came to um, well, yeah, that organization, Animal Activism Mentorship, definitely helped me.
So you
And
were you a you got
I was a men.
mentored?
I had a mentor first, yes. So I saw Shannon Blair. So this was like right around 2020. I don't know, Vegan Evan's mom, Shannon. They had started this organization and posting about it on Facebook.
So
Like
is
who?
that so? Let's back up. Okay, cool.
Mhm,
So, animal activism mentorship, animal activist mentorship,
mhm.
and you signed up. You were like, "Let's do it." And so, Ethan, wait, what's his name?
Vegan Evan.
Vegan
Hmm.
Evan. Yeah, he's like a 12-year-old now, right? How old's that kid these days?
No, I think he's like close to 15 now or
Oh,
something.
he's 15 or something. Yeah, but they
Yeah.
started it a while back. He was a kid,
Yes. Yes.
and he's one of the kids that got beat up at a Starbucks recently, I think, or
Yeah.
he got arrested at a DXC rescue. The kid's
He's an inspiration for one of my heroes for sure.
yeah, he's pretty cool. If you
He's
don't know
super
who
cool.
Vegan Evan is, he's pretty awesome. Kind of a superstar in the movement
Hmm.
especially for a young person. And his mom started that. Is that what happened?
Yeah, so Vegan Shannon, yeah, they with a few other activists, another activist named Trey Morrow, Me Free Mikey, another several other activists. So they just put the call out on Facebook, like, do you want a mentor? Do you want somebody like get more involved, get one-on-one mentorship to like get help? And I think I could tell that I was making excuses for myself, like, oh, it's uncomfortable, or I'll just stay home,
Yeah.
like feeling like I need to be doing more, but I'll just stay home kind of thing. And then I was like, that's perfect for me, you
And so
know.
you got
And
involved
then I
and
got a mentor, yeah, and then I got a really cool mentor who, and he just keep following him on the gram, was like, wow, he's talking for the animals all the time and doing all this activism. And then we would call one on what that's what's so great about animal activism mentorship. You get paired up, and then it's just kind of like a sponsor, like checking in once a week and like helping me get more active and encouraging me.
amazing. So they hook you up with was your mentor in New York?
No, so it was just like remote.
So you guys are like on the phone talking
Uh,
about like so walk me through that. They're going like, "Hey, so yo Benjamin, what'd you do this week?" And you're like, "I did this action." Is that
yeah, exactly. Or I remember one time, like, oh, I kind of don't want to go to the cube because maybe I just want to stay. He's like, no, well, what's going on? Talk me through it. And like, it's important that it kind of help me get recommitted, and you'll feel so much better after you do it, and that kind of
Mhm.
thing. A little bit like, yeah, what are some different activities? Helping tease me out, like, what are your skill sets? What do you want to be doing? Like
Mhm.
that kind of thing. And then they have another great thing about an animal activism mentorship are these convergences. So
Yeah,
I
what's
went
one of those? You just did
Okay,
one,
so I
right?
went to it was super outside of my comfort zone. I went to Florida. This is in 2022.
Okay.
2022. Flew down to Florida, met they picked me up in a van in Orlando, and I met another activist there, and they organized these trips. So as soon as and you don't like you just register, show up. They picked me up at the airport. We met immediately to St. Augustine, Florida, and did a protest against horse carriage.
Awesome.
And then you like go to the air.
St. Augustine, America's oldest city. I was there doing some activism. It's a great
Okay.
place.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, and then we were at went to SeaWorld and protesting how they breed dolphins in captivity, and then obviously just exploiting them being there. And then we went to Miami Seaquarium and protesting Lolita, like the orca who was in the smallest whale tank
Yeah,
for
Lolita,
50
free
something
Lolita.
years.
So you guys are all in a van, like driving around
Yes,
Florida, like
multiple Airbnbs. Like, all right, 3 nights over here, and then it was a lot of driving. We went to a live auction house. We went to a dairy, a dairy, and protested out front there. We went to Miami Beach with the whole Seaspiracy, like all the facts about fish. We did a
yeah.
food giveaway, like $1 million vegan that switched into generation or billion
Gen-
dollar vegan. That's now I think generation vegan.
Generation V, yeah.
We did a food. They used to do these food giveaways, so they sponsor local vegan restaurants to like just whatever, like to have these pre-made meals, and we just set up on Daytona Beach and giving free vegan food out with like little pamphlets talking to people. So we get to like do all these different types of activism, and like
That's
it was
really
so
cool. So you get a kind of like a smorgasbord of activism that you get
yes,
to
and
try it all.
that's kind of the whole, yeah, and teaming up with different organizations that are already doing things in there.
Already on the ground. Yeah.
Yes, so that's how I met Juan.
That's how you met Juan because he does that. He's one of
Yes,
the
and that
hosts of it, right? Yeah.
he's one of the organizers of like the Miami and the Hollywood Cube. And then
Mhm.
so that I moved down to Florida for a year, and I was like, I had instant community.
You
And
moved down to Florida because of it? That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, because it was so nice and it was so fun. And then I already had like the Self Flow Animal Rights. So I don't know if you like, they're just a
Yeah,
great
SoFlo. I
organization
mean, we
in
had Juan
South.
on the show. We've talked about SoFlo. He's great. I mean, SoFlo Animal Rights,
Very
Southern
active,
Florida
strong
Animal Rights.
community.
A great community. Great to follow on Instagram, even if you're not there. It's great to keep up with those guys because they're always doing
Mhm.
interesting shit. Ethically based Exonomers sounds based. You could do it, man. Sign up for Animal Activism Mentorship. It's really cool. And they've got these, because we had Cassie on as well. You probably know her.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, from
and
Self
so
Flow.
right, exactly. So I hung
Mhm.
out with her when I was in Florida. I did a couple actions with her, and she came on the show. And she's just done another tour, maybe last month or some shit. I don't know.
She's in New York. She's in New York right now. We're just been protesting Mark Jacobs like this week. So
I
there's one
saw a
going on.
video of her in New York. That's right. Yeah, I
Yes,
mean, she gets around too. She's a dedicated
amazing,
activist. Yeah,
amazing. And like her, she found her purpose when she became an activist. She found her call, like all we found our people. We found our calling. Like this is
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's veganism should have a flag, and the only one allowed here. We do have a
Mhm,
vegan flag, of course. It's the green,
mhm.
the upside down pyramid, green, blue, and white. We have a vegan flag. I wish we had an emoji vegan flag. That would have been cool. Yeah, it's We don't. It's not available as you know what? I need to make a vegan flag emoji for this channel. That's what needs to happen. That's gonna happen. All right, that's happening now, guys. We're gonna have a vegan flag emoji for all channel members. That's a brilliant idea, Perla. Wonderful idea, Perla. People have a good reason for flashing it. Yeah, awesome. Cool, let's do that. So you're in Florida now for a year doing
Mhm.
activism and being with all these great activists. So that had to, rub off on you.
Yes.
So all right. So what's next? Let's go through it.
What's next? All right.
Let's go on
Okay.
the
Well,
vegan journey.
a couple crucial things. Well, I don't know if you this great book by Jim Mason called "In the Natural Order."
Yeah, I haven't read it, but I know about it.
Okay, and that just like, and so basically vegan, like I feel like once you go vegan, you're like, yo, animal exploitation so fucked up, and then you start learning about all these like vivisections and all this other shit, and then
Yeah,
and then the subsidies and the farm bill, and like you're like,
yeah,
oh my god, it just goes deep. The matrix goes deeper than ever. Then once we thought we've seen it all with like kittens getting ground up alive or chicks getting, we were like, no, it's even worse. It's crazier, and then the
yeah.
human
It's
supremacy
even
myth. You're
worse
like,
than I thought.
wait a
Yeah.
second, humans aren't actually better or more superior than animals. Like wait like what does that fucking mean for our whole society is contingent on this
Mm-hmm.
fucking human supremacy. So anyways, like the onions getting peeled back.
Yeah.
But so, and it's
You're
still
behind the
happening
curtain.
after.
So you're
Yeah, so that book in a natural order, just realizing, damn, like all injustice, all oppression is contingent on when we started hunting and hurting and breeding animals, and like
yes. Yes.
and basically society and quote civilization is what it is today because of like the backs of fucking abused and exploited and domesticated animals. So it's just like crazier and
Right,
crazier.
and how that led to how that ends up leading to the abuse and domestication and all the
Our
horrible
split,
things
our
we do.
entire split
Yeah,
from nature, where we like
yeah,
coexist, we evolved neurophysiologically in every way to like be with nature, and then to like
mhm,
split from that or whatever.
right,
Um, but
rule
then
nature all of a sudden. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
and then but then I think being around all like learning more about activism, and I was like, wait, I should be an organizer, like because I saw that there's a difference between just showing up to an event and like organizing an event.
right.
And I
It's
was like,
a
and I'm kind of like OCD, so I was like kind of critical of organizers. But I was like, yeah, it's kind of messed up because they're spending
I
like
would have done
all
it
this
better.
time. I would have done
Yeah,
a better, but they're literally like putting their life on the line, putting money on the line, like doing all this responsibility, and I just literally have to like show up for
yeah,
3 hours, and I can leave whenever. So I was like, that's not right of me. So, but so that's when I like, and then it took me several years to even become an organizer. So, folks, if you're out there and you're an activist and you want to organize, like I wish I started organizing sooner.
mm. I mean, I think that's everything about this everything about this is that you wish every step came sooner. And so it's
Hmm.
always trying to push yourself and push each other to that next level because it's like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. I wish I started earlier. I wish I quit my career earlier. I wish I did all sorts of things earlier, and it's just now you always feel like you're playing catch up because of you weren't I don't know, man. You just didn't have it. You weren't there yet. I don't know. People weren't around you to inspire you yet. You hadn't heard that. You hadn't read that book yet. God damn it, and you wish that you'd
Hmm.
done it earlier. So you're an organizer now, right? You're organizing things, and what kind of stuff do you like to do?
Okay. Yeah, so my first main organizing thing is I started my own tech meetup. So it's called New York City Vegans in Tech.
Okay,
Because
because that's your career background is in tech.
a little bit, yeah. In the last 2 years, just trying to make a break into the industry,
Hmm.
building websites and stuff. And a lot of the cultures is going to meetups, and I was going to these Google meetups and other meetups, and they were cool and all, but then they start serving like animal secretions and pieces, and I'm like, yo, I can't be here.
Yeah,
And then obviously I was like, tech is such a it's so ubiquitous with everything. Might as well try and leverage it for liberating animals.
yeah,
So it's been like just an exploration, and but nothing too serious, but getting like 25 or more people at my events. I've had a couple speakers come and talk about like just any topic related to the intersection of technology and veganism. So we'd had one about AI, ethical use of AI in the animal rights movement,
yeah,
and then obviously just networking. So and then also our other goal was to bring in vegans from other, because there's a lot of the same activists doing outreach and grassroots activism, but then like who's these other like people in this these other lawyers and
yeah.
project managers and stuff, like let's bring them into the vegan mix and expose them to like Vegan Activist Alliance and all this other. So
Yeah, I mean that's exactly it, right? I mean that's what is so important about doing some of those, the summit that we met at and all this, like trying to get those people all under the same roof so that we can get some real work done. I say it all the time. It's like we need lawyers and accountants and all of those people too. You're right. I mean, it's
Mhm.
not just going to be people with megaphones. It's got to be everybody working together as a symphony to make this shit happen. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you I mean, that's incredible. I love that you're out there making that happen. So what are you working on? What's the future hold? What are you working on
Mhm.
now? What's the future for you?
Okay, sweet. Well, yeah, kind of multiple things. Well, one thing's definitely my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So I'm 9 months in. I made a commitment to myself to upload one video every week for at least a year, and I've
Yeah.
missed like 3 weeks in the last like 9, 10 months. So doing
So
pretty
hey,
good. But
keep going.
that was just
Focus on the victories, not the
not the
setbacks.
losses, exactly. But that I think that I just realized, like, yo, shit, if I can make one video, it's gonna live on the internet forever. And the people that are ready to hear, because again, doing cubes or doing outreach, realizing how many I'm not here for the haters and the trolls.
Yeah.
I'm here for the people that like already know that they're out of alignment with their values and they just need that extra nudge. Like, you're right, that is fucked
Right.
up. Like,
Yeah.
so the message is simple. I don't need fancy equipment, and I'm just gonna like just hold them accountable on my YouTube channel. So that's one
Yeah,
thing
I
I've been
love
doing.
their. I've seen a couple of your stuff things, and I've reacted to a couple of them on this show.
Thank you.
So yeah, keep up the good work. Outside of this, what are you into, man? Are you into like what kind of pop culture are you into? Do you like what else do you nerd out about outside of veganism? When you're decompressing, doing some
Mm.
self care, what are you into?
Okay, well, it's crazy. Like my decompression is in sometimes like studying global conspiracies and technocracy and stuff. Yeah, and like big data, and we're all like this kind of dystopian futures and
Oh, do you read like any kind of the dystopian kind of cyberpunk stuff? Is that like into fiction or like the real Bill Gatesy type?
well, yeah, I kind of way, they say truth is stranger than fiction. So, and I'm definitely there's some pretty wild stuff that's happening or happened when it comes to just the what do you call it, the consolidation of wealth and power and
Mhm.
militarized everything and surveillance and all that.
Yeah, I
And
uh I,
and authoritarianism.
I mean it's something that we all need to be kind of worried about, I suppose. Like I always feel like we're slipping into that shit sometimes. I mean, I know when I was growing up, as I'm old enough to remember when our privacy was really important. And it
Hmm.
was those Russians who wanted to listen to our phone calls and listen to everything we do and keep tabs on us all. And that was those other guys. And now it's like, no, we just sign over everything. We just sign over our privacy every single
Hmm.
day as if it's nothing. And it was no big deal. What the heck? That doesn't make any sense to me. So, yeah, I think it's something to worry about for sure. Bro, other than your what's your YouTube channel and is that it or do you do Instagram as well? Where can people find you?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. You can find me at YouTube at Basil space B space vegan, the letter B. So Basil letter B vegan.
Basil Be Vegan. Yeah.
Basil be vegan. I started a new project. It's a super baby project, but I thought it'd be really cool. It's called veganorigin stories.com. And that's the
Mhm.
name of the YouTube channel and the Instagram. And I want to compile all just 60 seconds or less, so just short form. Get as many vegans as we possibly can. Just get their moment when they got aha and went vegan, because I think the power of story, and I think vegan origin stories are really interesting, and maybe that's
Yeah.
just another way that people can like have that moment when they can relate to somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I always ask like people when their click was. That's awesome. Yeah, if you can
Mhm.
do it in under 60
So,
seconds, that sounds amazing.
so yeah, if you want to go to veganorigin stories.com and submit you can just give us a little Google form. So you just do your own little video, upload it to me, and then with your name, the URL that you want, and then I'll like upload them and try and just compile them all in one place.
Oh, that's cool. So veganoriginstories.com and
There's
you
a little
and
Google form they can upload, and then I'm gonna put them all in the Vegan Origin Stories YouTube and Instagram.
that is rad. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well,
Yeah.
Benjamin, man, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you being here, bro. And keep up the good work out there, man. It's you're rocking it. You're rocking it. You're doing a great job, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Thank you,
basil, be
Sky.
vegan.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to meet you, and then just see your activism and like how prolific and emboldened and articulate you are, and just like your passion and everything. So thank you again, bro.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm trying my best, just like everybody else, I hope, and that's all we can do, right? And keep going strong. I think it's a dream to work on your passion. And that's what they tell you to do, right? Find out what you're passionate about and do that. Okay. Well,
Yes, and then can I just say just my last point?
yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, man, I think because I know so many of us care about so many injustices in the world, but I do feel that like animal exploitation is the linchpin, and there's no way we can live in a world where there's peace between humans, but we're still slaughtering millions of animals every single day. So that's why, to me, it's just, and I know we're all limited with time, so fighting for animals to me feels like I'm fighting for all justice and all sovereignty for all beings.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not an intersectional. It's about the animals for me, but I
Mhm.
see how it's all, of course, I don't think that there's any chance for peace if we're still slaughtering animals.
Exactly,
Don't think there's
exactly.
any chance. No, I just don't think there's any chance for
Mm-mm.
justice until no justice, no peace.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank
All right,
you.
bro. Appreciate
Much
you,
love.
man. Take it
Thanks.
easy.